Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. This is another paid request. As for episode 2 of this show called Squid Game, which is a Korean show that I guess other people have talked about, and it came out this year. This, for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, you can feel free to send either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And yeah, it just might take a while to get to it because I'm decently backed up, but if you don't mind waiting, feel free. But I didn't mind the first episode, and this was there because, yeah, I didn't mind the acting, I don't mind the concept. In the first episode, pretty much you had a group of characters who were down on their luck, and particularly this, our lead, who likes to gamble. He's lived with his mom, he has a daughter, he has an ex-wife who's with another guy. The ex-wife is going to take that guy and our lead guy's daughter and go to America, but he doesn't want that to happen because otherwise the lead guy won't see his daughter anymore. His daughter is obviously used to being disappointed by her dad. Her dad's not a bad guy, he's just an irresponsible guy. And then one day he gets this weird conversation, so to speak, with this other fella who says, "Hey, I'll play a game. If you win, you get this money, but if I win, you owe me this. Well, instead, how about this? I'll slap you, and then we can keep playing." The guy finally wins, and then this other fella goes, "Well, here's a card. It's a bit of a game show. You want to join us? Feel free." It culminates to the end where he's on the game show. I don't mind the setting. I don't mind the workers of this game show wearing these costumes with a mask and voice modulator and this pity bank up top where people could almost be in awe and worship, and that money will be filled each time they beat a game. And the game played, there's hundreds of people. It's red light, green light, and then some people die. A lot of people die. They didn't realize it was life and death until too late. And like I said in the episode, I do think there is some stuff that could have been improved, even with the game itself, because I swear there are times you get shot if you move. There are times people are perfectly still and they still get shot, but the lead guy is moving and he doesn't get shot. I think there's a bit of inconsistency with that. That kind of took me out of it. And it's not anything that original. I mean, I've seen The Running Man, folks, which I love The Running Man. It's one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger films. I've seen Gamer. I mean, that's not technically the same, but, you know, it's people being put into this life and death side game show, but game in general, where they're prisoners in that movie. And I actually think it's decent, underrated Gerard Butler film. But there's been plenty of other movies where there's a game show and you find out that the game show is life and death. It's not the first time this has happened. I guess, in a way, Battle Royale, which is better. So I don't think it's anything remarkable or daringly original, but that was fine. And then I get to episode 2. Really, this is... I can't say it's a filler. It's more of, okay, now we're getting to know about the other characters. That's really what it is. It's getting to know about the other characters that we saw in that second half of that game. The first bit of the episode is a vote. If the majority votes one way, you can leave. If the majority votes the other way, you're staying. And surprisingly enough, well, most vote to leave, as surprisingly enough, they actually allow the people to leave. I do think, okay, that made it a bit interesting. They didn't lie. They said if the majority says you could go, you could go. And they left. And they let everybody go. And again, I'm like, okay, like I say, it makes it interesting because in a weird way, there's a sense of honor involved with these, whoever the hell these company, whoever's behind all this. They obviously are powerful. They know no one's going to believe you, which of course they don't when they go to the cops. And they seem to know that these people are in such desperate states, they'll be back. Just give them another card, give them a week or two or so, they'll be back. And lo and behold, yeah, everyone does come back. Which I do think it would have been nice if you have at least one or two people that says, fuck this, I'm not back, of your main folks. And maybe they're reeling with survivor's guilt, or like at least one or two of them. But the fact that all of them go back, I'm like, I think there's something else there's some bit more you could have played with. But yeah, you have the lead guy. You have a person he knows who's a business guy. There's the one guy who saved the lead from falling in the previous episode. You have this older gentleman. You have the pickpocket lady. And others, and you pretty much get to know more about each of their lives. Like the lead guy's mom, she's diabetic. She's in a hospital now. She might have to get her foot cut off. The mom leaves because she can't afford to be in a hospital. And the lead guy fucked up her insurance. And plus the whole thing with his daughter, go to leave. Can't really say I care a whole lot about the lead guy, whether he lives or dies, but I mean, maybe if it's not gonna be a redemption arc, but I don't know, just, did you fucked up your mom's insurance, so now, but the fact he goes back yet, I guess, like, you know what, I know I fucked up, I need to set some things right. I doubt it'll pan out, but I have a feeling the mom's not going to make it. I don't know. With a lot of shows today, they definitely want to go certain points that, if it's not nihilistic, it's close to that. But it shows why each person is in debt. The guy who helped him, he's in debt because he has a job and the boss is fucking over his wages and he won't give him the money. He's trying to get the money and the boss gets his hand caught in this printing press machine thing. And the guy has to run off, and he's going to be up shit creek. So, in order to get money for his lady, and because the cops going to be looking for him, he goes back. The one girl who's a pickpocket, she has people who she cares about, needs to take care of, she goes back. The old man, who's number one, he says the one line that stuck out to me in a good way. He says, out here, the torture is worse. This is a guy that, he's dying, and he's like, well, out here, I don't know why that line stuck with me. I guess it also reminds me of a different line, not in this movie, but not in the show, but somewhere else, where they went, I'll stop living in fantasy when reality stops sucking so much. I don't know, sometimes simple lines can really drive a point home much better than an entire paragraph or monologue. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that also feel the same way as the old man. But yeah, it's pretty much just, like I say, I can't say filler. It's getting to know a bit more of each of these individuals, a little bit of their background, so they're a little bit more fleshed out now as they go back into the game again. And you also have this cop whose brother was in one of these games, and he's on the case trying to look into this. Because he sees one of these cars, and it's the same car his brother had long ago. There's some decent points of direction. Like, there's a bit where each person's into the van, and it cuts back to, like, a similar shot of each person. Cut, and then cut, and then cut. as a like the same frame of them getting into the van from the side and then the door sliding. It's like decently edited montage. It's one of those I watch, I go, okay. Again, the fact that every single person goes back, I would buy it more if at least one or two of them would have said, nah, fuck this. But yeah, at least one or two of them. But it is what it is. And, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't think it's as unique as people make it out to be. Again, there's plenty of movies and shows that have dealt with a game show that will kill it. I mean, Stay Tuned with John Ritter, there's a scene where it's a game show, but if you lose, you die. I mean, but at the very least, it's doing a decent enough attempt to try to build up who each of these folks are, so you get a bit of more of a handle of who these individuals happen to be. You know, it's not a bad looking show. I think there's a bit of controversy as to, like, the subtitles don't match what they're actually saying. I remember reading up, there's some type of controversy where, again, what they're actually saying is not what's exactly being subtitled. I don't know because I don't speak the language. So take that on faith or whatever. It's not something I would watch on my own because I'm like, whatever. But, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. So it's like, I'm not mad about it, but it's like, It's not as good as Battle Royale or The Running Man. I mean, it's not bad either. It is one of those, indifferent. Fairly indifferent on. You know, it's not bad. But it doesn't give me much other emotions to elicit. You know, sometimes you watch shows, that's how it is. So. And to be perfectly honest, it seems like the game show, when they're in that area, with the way it looks and the certain costumes they have, that just seems the more interesting part of the show when it sticks to that, as opposed to the outside lives. But I get it because you're developing characters, but I'm just saying, if you were to ask me which is the more interesting bits, I would say the most interesting bit of this episode would be the beginning. And like I said, oh well, they actually did. They didn't lie. They didn't cheat on the deal. They were up front, the majority, and they let people go. Yeah. Like I said, just because they knew, they somehow knew everybody would come back. I'm guessing then they'll do the other games. I think there's, 8 episodes? So, but with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.